What's up, everybody? I'm Coach Brian, and in the spirit of celebrating love, I wanted to talk about relationships, how you get them, how you work through hiccups, and how you celebrate the good times. So today, I'm chatting with one of my favorite people, and so let's just hop into it, and we can start by you introducing yourself.
Hey guys, my name's Eric. Originally from Boston, been living in DMV for 10 plus years. And Brian and I go way back. So we
Absolutely
love having these conversations.
So I know a lot about your story, right? But I'm hoping that we can at least inspire or share some insight for those who either want to be in a relationship and just for those who are single and loving it, or single and saying, hey, you know what? How do I get one myself? And so tell us how long you've been in your relationship.
So I've been in a relationship for 20 years. And in that time, I've had relationships with others.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so when I hear you say 20 years, which is an extremely long time,
Right.
but because I know you, what do you actually mean when you say 20 years?
So for 20 years, I've been in a relationship with myself. Getting to know myself, doing the work, doing the self audits, but even during that time, I've had relationships with others.
Okay.
Who, in intimate relationships.
Yeah. And so what do you feel like you've learned in the span of that 20 years? And then, as far as like 20 years and being in that relationship with yourself, when do you feel like you found self? Because I know you're only 22, but you said 20 years. So that means you at some point in life, you decided, hey, I feel comfortable being me. When was that?
So for me, that would have been around 30, 35. Professionally, I wasn't happy. Personally, I wasn't happy. And I was in a relationship and I wasn't happy. And it took a combination of those two things happening in a sense simultaneously.
Yeah.
For me to actually have that aha moment, like, wait, this ain't what this life is supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And so that kind of hit me. It hit hard.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But it sounds like it was a turning point for you to get to where you need to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, as far as like being single and loving it, single by choice, single by force.
Single, I would say two parts, right?
Okay.
So single, not because nobody wants me. It's that nobody I want wants me.
Now that's important. I'm
Right.
very big on that, right?
Right.
So not even just with romantic relationship. I think you want the people in your life who want you.
Right.
And that's any relationship that you
That's what Big Mama always said. You don't want nobody who don't want you.
Absolutely. So when you say want, what is it that you would be looking for in a partner?
Visually or in terms of character?
I want to hear both.
So visually, I'm kind of open. I do like someone who is fit. And fit, when I say fit, my definition doesn't necessarily mean muscular, because there are people who are what people like to call muscular.
Yeah.
But internally, they're uncomfortable. So fit, whatever it is, fit is for you. Character-wise, I like someone who's ambitious, who's intelligent, who has a great sense of humor, and who's confident in who they are. Because I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I know what I bring to the table, and I have a lot of confidence.
It's key.
And you have to be comfortable, because you want to be comfortable in spaces where I am, and I'm not going to be comfortable places where you are.
Absolutely.
So, and that comes with confidence.
And that also comes with time. Like most people don't know that. But once you get to know yourself, you build a little bit. You get it.
You get it. You get it. And you can actually move independently of each other without having to, be in that person's space, because if my partner's happy, then I'm happy. And whatever he's doing.
That's one of the biggest keys to a successful relationship, when each person feel like they still have their own self identity while they're in the relationship.
Exactly. Because I think what happens is relationships are like living organisms. They're living, they're breathing, they evolve. And
Good enough.
so it's a matter of you understanding that they're going to evolve. Because individually, who you were 3 years ago than who you are now. So I'm just saying it's the same dynamic in a relationship.
Absolutely.
So understanding, once you understand that concept, then you can easily say, oh, okay, well, this is where we are now. This is not working. This is good. This is not.
Yeah.
And we can work on that.
Yeah. And look, and just back to your point you made earlier, I'm so glad that you said the two parts. You asked, what about the physical and the exterior, and then also about the internal. So sometimes I feel like people shy away from saying what it is they like and want when it comes down to the exterior, right? Because we're taught that the exterior is just so superficial, right? Sure. Well, you gotta like the person that you're with, right? You gotta want to look at them. You gotta like what you like, right?
Exactly.
It has to be part of the equation. But with that said, absolutely the internal is important as well. And I like to think that we don't want to put weight on what's more important. We want to make sure that the well-roundedness, it meets your needs and your wants so that you can have a healthy relationship.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. And so here's a little bit of turn. If I was to talk to your best and most close friends and ask them what they think your toxic trait is, what do you think they would say?
Is that before or after I cut the new check?
It is when I'm gonna get the most honest answer.
Okay, so that's gonna be when that's wrong. No, no, friends, sorry. But no, probably my only toxic trait I would say, and I know this about me because I've done this stuff already, is I can have a tendency to be controlling. In terms of I want to know what's going on, when, where, so that way I can understand. And then sometimes, and I'm very cerebral. Mhm. So a lot of times I think I probably that's it. That's probably my biggest toxic trait is I just don't. Sometimes I don't enjoy the moment and live in the moment.
Yeah.
Versus trying to understand all the variables in the moment, and then I say, "Oh, now I can enjoy it now."
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Well, awareness is powerful, right?
Absolutely.
That's when you do something about things we want to change.
Sure.
So good thing you know, right?
Right. Listen, what's a PSA? Boy, you know.
Let me ask you this. So when it comes down to like knowing yourself and being in a relationship with yourselves, what is one of the things you feel like was the biggest hurdle to truly understanding who you are? One of the life altering things that if you hadn't taken care of, you wouldn't be the person that you are today.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. So the thing is, let me go ahead. So the first one is
It's two part.
yeah, because it's multi-dynamic, right?
Correct.
So I think the first part was I can't expect me from a because a lot of times we get into these discussions and conversations or relationship, you get into an argument and it becomes, well, I wouldn't have done that to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, but you're not me. So you can never speak to the operation of someone else's mind.
You know what that is? That is the unlearning of what we were taught. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, people can only treat you with what the tools that they have,
Right.
and experiences that they have,
Right.
perspectives that they have,
Sure.
and the interpretations that they have, which may not be equal to what you have. So it may be a little different. Now that doesn't mean that we let people treat us any short way, and it doesn't mean that we let people call them value. But it is an understanding that their experience is different than your experience, and it may not look the same.
Exactly. It becomes this thing where you just have, and that's okay though. But again, that's part of the self audit. I think the other part for me is I always have to be aware that, at least for me, I think, for some people, aesthetically, I may check some boxes. Right?
Yeah.
And I think understanding that there's a discerning that there's a difference between being lusted after and being genuinely pursued.
Yeah.
Two different, the feelings may be mutual.
Yeah.
Initially.
Yeah.
But they take two different paths because one, in both cases, what I'll say is that the behavior will always dictate the message.
Absolutely. Okay.
So I'm a firm believer. What am I going to believe? You are my line out. It's like you're telling me this, but you're showing me this. So what am I to believe? And so because those two that dynamic falls under both umbrellas, I'm very cognizant and when I meet people, I'm very engaged, but I always want to know like where's this really going? What are you really after?
Yeah.
And for me,
what is your intention?
What is the intention? And your intention is to really I'm going to reciprocate that.
Yeah.
Like we're going to have that energy, but if you
let's not mistake it. Sometimes being lusted off is a good thing, right?
if I'm in that listen, if I'm in that space on that day and that moment and that hour, I may be like, I'm down. Let's go. But there are moments where, for me, when you get to a certain age, like it becomes temporary. Like that feeling's temporary. Like, okay, that was great. When's your Uber coming? Like you're over it already.
Yeah.
Versus you wanting to, if you're in a relationship, you're happy and being genuinely pursued, you want to spend time with that person. You're like, yo, let's get up and let's just go for a walk. Let's do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah.
Because you want to enhance that quality time. So I think those two dynamics for me were very big. Very big. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. When you're dating, what is the telltale sign when you know, okay, this isn't going to go anywhere, so I'm not going to engage anymore, or this potentially can go somewhere. So let's give it some more time, or let's tip the scales so that we are more intentional about what we're doing and we're actually trying to reach a common goal.
So for me, it's the conversation should always just be organic. Like it's just we're going from topic to topic. It's very seamless. It shouldn't be contrived or curated where we're like sitting there like, so what do you do?
Yeah.
And what do you like to be?
Right.
What's your last book? Like it shouldn't be this interrogation or interview. It should be very seamless conversation. And if I feel like it's not seamless, maybe because there could be a myriad of reasons why. Maybe the person can't articulate. So sometimes I definitely give the space and grace to your point for people to evolve. And let's just see.
Correct.
Maybe it could
let's see what it goes.
It could be that moment. Maybe it was the ultimate pressure. Who knows, right? But if that behavior is consistent, like every time we have conversation, it's pulling teeth. This is dead silence, awkward. I'm like, okay, this is not going anywhere. And so honestly, if I see it going somewhere, it's the opposite.
Yes.
And they're consistent. They're making time. Like, hey, let's go. You want to go catch the show, or you want to go do this? You want to go do that? They're consistently making time because obviously people. Listen, we all have busy lives.
Yeah,
We've got family obligations. We've got personal obligations. We've got professional obligations. There's a lot of moving parts. But for me, when you are making time, because I would say you make time for what you want to make time for.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. So there's some truth to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are making that kind of time for me consistently, I'm going to reciprocate that always, because it's all about reciprocity.
Right.
And people think, oh, well, if they're not doing this, they're not doing that. But I would say do the self part, and what are you doing?
I got it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time, but one of the things I feel like I hear a lot, and it kind of makes me cringe when I hear people saying that happens, it don't, it don't. To me, that's such a way of bowing out, of making executive decisions for your life. And I feel like I know in my life, anything that I have, I've always had to work for, whether it was for my degree, whether it was for my coaching, even the God, I feel like I've always had to work for the things that I truly want, and I've never mind doing it, right? If anything came easy to me, I probably wouldn't appreciate it, and it probably wasn't that important.
Sure.
So I think sometimes when it comes down to our career, when it comes down to different goals and dreams in our mind, it's just like, I don't mind working for it, but for whatever reason, when it comes down to relationships, we have conditioned ourselves to think working for the relationship is trying too hard. And my mind's like, why is that any different? So how do you feel about it? Are you, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, where are you at?
Here's the thing about it. I think there have been, listen, full transparency. I've had moments where I'm like, fuck it.
Right.
Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It'll happen. But there are moments where I'm like, no, because I look at my life. I look at even the analogy I always use for me is like, so, like, you know me well enough. I'm in the gym 6 days.
Yeah.
Fitness is my thing, but it's also for different reasons. But one of the reasons is that there's a level of discipline to it.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And to your point, anything you got to work hard towards having. Fitness takes a certain level of discipline, and but the core to it is you figure out your why.
Yeah.
Right? Because your why keeps you disciplined, it keeps you motivated, keeps you consistent.
And it's what's going to keep you sustainable.
The same dynamic, I hope what I'm working on and I continue to work on is doing that same dynamic as a relationship. Find your why in the relationship.
Yeah.
Why am I?
Why am I doing this?
Why am I looking for a relationship?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
why do I want to be? Or or some people, why do you want to be single? Whatever it is.
Absolutely.
But if you're single and you want a relationship, well, why am I doing it? Once you find the why, that'll be motivated, disciplined, and consistent. And to your point, sustainable. Same dynamic.
Yeah.
But I think the issue that most people have, and that's just for me, I think the issue that most people have is because there are a lot of controlling variables that they don't have control. And it's because it's so much more subjective because it's based on the other person.
Absolutely.
If the other person is not feeling you or they're not, they can just walk away. Whereas if it's a goal, fitness goal, it's just me and the goal.
Right. Right.
It's just me.
That's the only thing.
It's just me and the goal. If I want to run a marathon, I got to practice for a marathon. If I want to attain, PhD, I can take a PhD. It's just me and the PhD. Whereas if it's a relationship, people are like, yeah, that's not, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that just goes back to the point you were making earlier of wanting people that want you, right? When you're putting your best foot forward, when you're being you, people notice, right? And if there's something that they're attracted to, they're going to be available for you,
Absolutely.
And the ones that's not, it's not the ones for you.
Right. And it's really simple. Listen, I would say life is simple, people make it complicated.
Yeah.
Same thing with relationships.
Yeah.
It's
That's what I say about construction.
Yeah. Well,
Outside of coaching on construction,
we know.
and I feel like it's easy.
We know you smart. We know you smart.
Thank you, but I feel like construction is very easy, and it's people who make it complicated.
It's so simple, but but it also makes it so intriguing.
Yeah.
Is that because you get to really dive into the sense, go down the rabbit hole and find out about people and where they are and what their goals are and all, because I think in essence, people are good.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing.
Everybody's trying to do the best they can.
They're best again where they are. I think it's just to your point that sometimes based on life experiences, people don't have the tools they haven't had a lot of experience to say, oh, that's how I operate that space now, or that's how I do that now. But when you have those experiences, then you can, like we're doing now, you share knowledge and you pass it on because you have it.
Yeah,
And you've been there, done that. So I stand on
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get out of here, are you dating? And if not, do you want to?
Am I dating? Exclusively? No. Am I dating anybody? No. Do I want to? Of course.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so I was just looking at camera. No, I was just, I was just joking.
No, if you went out there, right?
Thank you.
Look, my IG.
I so appreciate you. Like, thanks for doing this. I love when we can provide insights to our folks. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Always.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.